sure the left arm spin on the side you're expected to almost. Should be taken. Should be taken. There's the first wicket. And almost inevitably it had to be spin. It's Liam Dawson.
Yeah, and Dawson is a great competitor. Loves this kind of atmosphere. He loves these moments in games where he's under pressure because the team have leaked runs. That is an important breakthrough at a key moment. Just held a little bit. You can see there, it just held a bit in the surface. Simple as you like for Luke Wood. That's what it means to Dawson, and that's what it means to England, who were and are under the cosh here. A good start for Nepal. Suchet couldn't himself get going. 7 from 9, 37 for 1.
Said it was heaving. This is the sound of silence. The expressions have all changed. Great show of emotion here in the Wankhede. Passionate followers, you look at them and you know which way the game is going. Captain Rohit Patel. Still fairly young, but he's been around for a while. That strike rate is the interesting one. Average 27.8, you don't mind that. They're likely to be more, obviously. As this T20 game goes further and further, the strike rate becomes the most important qualification. Just stopped on him a little bit. Good first over from Dawson. 6 off at 37 for 1 after 4. During the break, just ensuring that the ground is ready again. He used a very light roller this morning. I could have moved it. It was that light. Then my favorite new thing, the zinc bales. Right, this is going to be a contest now. Jofra Archer's changed ends. He's bowling to Kushal Bhurtel, who's 28 of 14. But England have got a wicket now. Everything he's bowled today has been over 140.
That's his method, trying to bowl it in towards the stumps, hold and grip away from the bat. And in the end, it just holds enough to get the top edge. Tries to bowl at the stumps as much as possible.
First example of pace off from Archer. Always get a bit worried when the big fast bowlers goes diving and sliding around the boundary. Is there almost a case to be made for saying it's okay if you concede 2 but don't lose a bowler?
Yes and no. I mean, they're athletes, Ash. They're proper athletes these days. They really are. Expected. 1 run here, 1 run there is crucial in the outcome of the game.
We saw yesterday the USA missed Ali Khan towards the end of the innings.
Fascinating to follow Rohit's career. He's clearly a very, very talented player, as is Birtle, who finds the offside with a great deal of ease against the pace of Archer. Stays slightly leg side, almost inviting the shot.
If you were to start your career today, would you be staying leg side of the ball, or would you be still coming in line?
I mean, I stayed leg side of the ball for that very reason, because most left-handers feel more fluent on the offside, and you're trying to make that the easier shot for you.
Let me reword it. If there's a young kid coming up to you, starting his career, would you tell him to stay leg side of the ball?
Yeah, but not exclusively. That's why I talk about that word intuitive a lot, because what you want to be doing is setting yourself up against the bowler if he knows which way you're going all the time. Call it combat. I always used to call it combat, where it's basically, it's an individual game really within a team environment. It's Jofra Archer against the skipper here, and it's you v him, and how are you going to outthink him, and how's he going to outthink you, and what are your plans to do that? So if staying leg side of the ball is a way of doing that, yeah, then you can go across and then whip him leg side, but it's choosing when to do that. It's a great game. It's a mind game really, cricket. Everyone talks about the technical side of it, but it's a mind game.
Very different over this from Archer. First 4 deliveries around the 125-kilometer mark. Everything was 140 plus early on. Sometimes it just takes that one over to say, look, I know I've got pace. Very few people have the pace I do, but is that the right attribute today?
I don't think he did a lot wrong in that first over. I think that was the plan, bowl more at the stumps. You look at the replay, that's just brilliant batting.
Oh, misfield. Produces a single. So just 3 off it after 5. Nepal are 40 for 1.
Solid start for Nepal, particularly crucial. Bertel has been impressive, but the man on screen, as so often for his nation, a critical aspect in this batting lineup. Crucial target number 3. I suspect from what we saw in the first innings, England are going to bowl an awful lot of spin as Will Jacks comes into the attack. There is turn on offer. Nasser Hussain joins me. Nasser, it's been a really entertaining contest thus far.
It has, and I love the way Kushal played Jofra Archer, just staying leg side of it and smashing it through the offside. It's going to be trial by spin now. Gets home. One thing that was noticeable in Sri Lanka on England's recent tour, how well their spinners did, albeit in conditions that did spin. But this one's gripping. Interesting to see how Nepal, who are brought up on a diet of spin, plays the England spinners.
Gun straight back to Jacks, stuck in the surface, and Bertel, who looks so at home against pace, the tamest of dismissals, has given it away.
Well, there's the answer to my question, how they're going to play spin. We have 2 wickets, both against spin. Will Jacks is having an excellent day, useful runs in the last 3 overs. And now a useful wicket. Bertel, who was playing nicely, got him off to a flyer. He has to go. And after a fine start, Nepal lose 2 in a hurry. And it's 29 for him, 42 for 2 for Nepal, and time for drinks.
Well, so many brilliant moments in this T20 World Cup history. One of them was right here at the Wankhede, England against South Africa 10 years ago.
In the air and down the ground to long off. Moeen Ali jogs off. Remarkable scenes here in Mumbai. Remarkable run chase. Second highest ever in world cricket. Highest in world T20 cricket.
At the time, the record T20I chase, Joe Root's most outstanding innings you could imagine after the flyer from Roy up at the top. His reverse scoops, there was all sorts of innovation. Hunting down 230 with an over to spare. Might have just heard your voice through my ear as well, Nasser. Remarkable.
Yeah, sorry about that. Look at that, Joe Root, 83 from 44. What a batting lineup England had at that stage in 20 over cricket and 50 over cricket. Brilliant game of cricket because it is usually a very good pitch here and that produces good cricket.
Now, fascinating move this. Dipendra Singh Airi is going to be at 4, up the order. Vice captain joins the captain. Nepal for a side that will face so much spin, struggle against it, particularly left arm spin. And England have assessed that in the first innings and recognised it's tacky, ball stopping within it, and they're going to bowl a lot of spin. As Jacks is struck from just a second legal delivery. So Airi, it's going to be to the crease now for Nepal. Good with the ball. What can he do with the bats? He is simply the most adored cricketer in the country right now. In the nation of Nepal, Dipendra Singh Airi, they call him the Tiger. One of only 5 cricketers in history to hit 6 sixes in an international. In an over, that is. And they'll need some of that power that he can bring. But look at him between the wickets. He is crease lightning when he turns 1 into 2 in a flash.
He's going to need it. There is the catch, a little bit of a leading edge. Will Jacks makes no mistake. It's funny, associate cricket generally in the past you view it blasting them away with pace. Actually it looks like spin to win against them. You said earlier that they were actually looking forward to facing Jofra. And when you said that, that was good for me. I thought, well, that's a good sign. The pace of Archer, they're looking forward to that challenge. Now the next challenge, and it's not just these spinners, one of the best is coming on soon in Adil Rashid.
Yeah, I think you're right in what you say. Historically, associate cricketers have really struggled against 2 things, express pace and mystery spin. But the myth with facing express pace and not being comfortable with it is kind of going. The challenge today is going to be spin. And this is probably a combination of 2 factors, Nasser. One, as the day goes on, pitch starting to wear. It's helped around the corner, but there's protection out there. Now, I really will want to, but Paolo says no. Calm yourself. End of the power play. Nepal, 47 for 2. Well, I feel as though the additional exposure the associate players are getting through franchise leagues, the fact that they are training as full-time professionals, many of these leading associate sides now, they're not scared of 145 kilometres an hour anymore. Certainly they do have challenges against spin still. There will be spin that could end up being a massive factor in today's contest.
And talking of spin, here is one of the best bowling in this phase where you have to consolidate a bit. There is the master. Not many pick him still. Sri Lanka on the recent tour, their middle order didn't pick him. Will Nepal pick him?
Cut away. Signature stroke for Dipendra Singh Airi. Races to the rope. He started brightly.
And he often starts with that ball out the front of the hand. He did then, but it was too wide. And he just gave a little bit of pace on the ball and a bit of width. And Airi doesn't miss out.
Going to take on the quick single. Irie is so quick, it's scary, somehow gets home. And he says, I won't take the second because it's come off me. 150 wickets to Rashid's name. This will be the trademark of this partnership. Lots of ones and twos. Protection in there. Rashid, one of only 6 players to 150 more at T20I wickets. He is world class.
He sure is, and he's old school. The modern way of bowling it quickly into the pitch. He still bowls with flight and guile.
Well, guys, just interesting that both skippers have decided to bowl their premier leg spinner from the press box end. Sandeep Lamichhane bowled from the press box end. There's a little bit more turn for him. Not much turn there for Adil Rashid. There's been plenty for Lamichhane. That is a good sign. Pal, they're going to look to attack Rashid. Send it on 60 for 2.
Shot as this, right out of the screws. Cowdle as a leader, but particularly a leader of this batting lineup, is integral to Nepal. When he goes well, when he scores at 130, 140, Nepal tend to go well. Positive signs from the leader of this batting lineup. He's got his vice-captain who he loves batting with. Right there with them. He sense this partnership will be the critical one for Nepal to harbour aspirations in this chase. Back-to-back boundaries. Nice solo, first from Powell, then from Irie. Even the English fans cheering Nepal right now.
Yeah, bad ball. Dragged down, gripped, leg side. It just had to help it on its way. Deep square was very square.
Certainly turn on offer for both Rashid and Will Jacks here. Irie will like the matchup. Positivity as Nick Knight has a look at that turning pitch.
Well, both skippers feel that area there. Charlie and Rashid will try and you can see there's a little bit of turn there. Now whether that's because of the pace that they're bowling or whether that's the length that you need to find, well, we'll find out with Rashid. Generally bowls a little slower than most leg spin bowlers, as you've just seen. That'll be the area that he's trying to bowl to there. And that's why we're highlighting that. That's the length of where that ball has turned quite dramatically.
Spot on, Nick. Won the last over, just 44 miles an hour from Adil Rashid. Really brave leg spin bowling. Here he feels as though he's missed out there his favourite shot, cut shot.
Set the field for a bad ball. Remember, the earlier boundary was way down the leg side and it was swept way behind square. I think that's the field for a bad ball. Where this ended up was where the sweeper should have been. But they are sweeping and and sweeping well.
Certainly keeping pace with where they'd like to be. Well, just growing in confidence, growing in belief, and so impressive was that heroic pedal stroke from the previous Rashid over to end it out in the maximum slung sweep. Harry Brook has whipped him out of the attack. So Dawson will come in for his second. Change of ends for him. Powell have got fragility against left arm spin in particular, despite facing so much of it. Myrie is going to canter for two here. Powell's going to have to go. Gets on comfortably. England are being dragged into the chaos here by the cardiac kids. This is their brand of cricket. Envelop the other side in the madness.
Yeah, because they got power, so we've seen boundaries and sixes. So the fielders have gone on to the fence, literally right back on the boundary, and then they knock it into the gap. So your bad deliveries are going for 4, and your good balls are going for 2.
So he says no. They're so quick though. Just have a look at the running and the technique to it. Sensing them being dragged into a contest here. Also, this partnership started very, very well. Number 32 and just 19.
Contested. They haven't got 45 off the last 3 overs. Nepal were just chasing 160. Good partnership developing. Sensible cricket. Plenty of time left. Don't go too hard too early. Put pressure on England. Curran yet to bowl, and maybe their next throw of the dice from Harry Brook. Curran with his moon balls and his variations.
One of the things that will give Nepal some real belief in this chase is the form and the X factor hitting ability of Krishna Jat's club. You know, it's listed there at 7. He can float anywhere. He can float up as high as 5 or 6, depending upon the situation. Really strong down the ground. This one sticks in the surface, and Myrie may be fortunate to survive.
Yeah, used pitch, same pitch as USA against India. Now we are seeing signs of wear and tear.
Finish to the over. Dawson, just 5 come from it altogether. 75 for 2. Jazz role as the finisher for Nepal was particularly well advertised in the now expanded ICC Men's T20 World Cup qualifier for the Asia and East Asia Pacific region. They clubbed the 2 regions together. He's the only player in the tournament to strike with 202 per ball. The left-handed tall frame that he has. Hitting spin down the ground.
There is the equation, 110 or 66. I was going to ask you, who is that finisher? Because Nepal have players who are slight in build, not massive, tall, big strikers of the ball. And like Bangladesh at times, who have small, thin, wiry cricketers, they at times have struggled to finish an innings. Change of ends for Adil Rashid. Stuart Law has spoken about it, actually, that it's more about the technique of hitting. That's what they're working on. They may not have the power in build and stature, but they work specifically on their technique of hitting and clearing the road.
Jazz the exception to the rule that you rightly point out. On the whole, generally they do not have very tall players. Yeah, over 6 foot, but he really gives the ball a good leather. Left-handed factor as well. Skillful though again from Rashid, all the way down to 43 miles an hour that time.
I always think of Bangladesh. If you can get the rate up to 12 and over off the last 5, I think they struggle down the order. Who would finish their innings? Stuart Law will need someone, if they are going to be strong in this World Cup, they're going to have to get over the line and someone to finish in the last 5 overs.
Stunning. Superb batting of the highest quality. Switching into position early. Hitting with the spin, picks the leg break and gets good reward.
Yeah, or even if you're not picking the leg break, most sides will go to the sweep or reverse sweep. It's noticeable Adil Rashid has been slog swept for 6 and now reverse swept for 4. They're going to use the sweep.
Sure, he picked that one out of the hand. A good adjustment to the googly to turn sharply. Excellent innovation. He looks determined to make a big impact. Even better. Gonna get to the rope. Yes. 4 more. Rashid is being given the treatment in Nepal. Maybe. Whisper it, starting to believe. 85 for 2.
Quite a fight now from Nepal. Partnership 43 of 28 balls. Dawson's been the standout. 1 for 11 from 2 overs. Very rare day when the attack is taken to Rashid. You watch so much English cricket, Wadi. Have you seen the attack taken to Rashid like that too often?
Not very often. Absolutely not. As Rashid comes into the attack, you're sort of thinking he's going to bowl at least 2 here. But some of the stroke play has been absolutely breathtaking. Sweep slog for 6 off the last ball of his first over, then the reverse where he had to wait and wait and wait, and then that one over extra cover. This has been stunning batting against England's premier spinner. Dawson is holding his nerve. That is a great strength of his.
To the offside for 4, travels very quickly along this one, KD outfield. You want to spread the message, watch Irie, Deepinder Singh Irie.
Stunning batting. Yes, there was width on offer, but he has flung his hands through that. The bottom hand whipping in to get the power, and he got the elevation to get it over extra cover. Magnificent shot, and England will be worried. They will be really concerned here.
Tell you what if I was in the venture capital industry and be asking for a deck from Nepal cricket? Be looking seriously as an investor.
Gonna throw a few rupees their way, eh?
A few. Depends on the purse I have.
Oh, now you're backtracking, aren't you?
If I had a large enough purse, yes. Series A funding round the corner.
Still a long way to go, but you just can't help but just think about the end of the innings when Jacks played that cameo. Was it 40 odd in 3? Last 3. Chasing at 160. Wow. Still on, absolutely still on.
Dawson's variation. He's bowling it quicker. Whereas Rashid is tossing it up much slower. I mean, that ball was a couple of balls ago was 93 kilometers an hour. Rashid bowled one at 70.
So if your experience of watching spin in white ball cricket at this ground, which is fast, what works better? Into the pitch hard or throwing it up like Rashid does? Does it vary so much?
India have got two who do it differently. In Kuldeep and Varun. Varun Chakravarti is about 90-95 kilometers an hour throughout. Kuldeep's about 84-85. 91 for 2 after 11. Think about 85, 86 is a good speed to bowl at, unless you've got the control to be consistently going at 94, 95, which Varun does very well.
Just thinking back to the day at Jadeja, driving into this sort of surface. One of Rashid's strength is to take pace off and vary his pace, but at the moment, it's not working for him. Hull played it beautifully.
91 of 11. They now need 94 of 9. Required rate 10.44. They've not let it go to 12-13. Once it heads into that territory, 12-13 or so, it's very difficult. England have turned to Sam Curran.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Curran does here in terms of whether it's wrist behind the ball, coming down the side of the ball, or even out the back of the hand. Don't think he'll go too much pace on. Right to start with, just to get into his action, but let's see.
You'll want to look at that skill again. Starts with a wide down the left side. Variation 90, thread 74.
Just seemed a little rusty, doesn't it? They just come from Sri Lanka playing 3 back-to-back T20 games where they played beautifully. They went round the park a few times with the new ball, but the spinners and everyone in the middle seemed to get it spot on. They've just been a little rusty. It seems that way anyway.
Latched onto that slow one very quickly. It was so slow that even if he hadn't latched on really at the time. And now Borneo joins in the body.
Well, he's played a beauty here because he really had to wait. It's not out the back of the hand, it's a very slow off cutter. It's just a fraction full because he used his feet. Maybe he picked it. Or predicted. No, for 4, he's not shot that. I'll march on.
Right before he actually played it. And fine enough. Just as well as a fielder. You don't normally see one that fine. Where's the trick to these two going to come from? Try the pace of Archer. They need to pace off. Dawson has bowled 3 overs for 17 now. But Rashid 2 overs for 23. At some point now, do they go back to Archer for one more? Jacks is 17 of 2.
Even on this run in between the wickets, they won it 2. They've run exceptionally well. The point is very valid, Harsha. I mean, if you're Harry Brook, you are thinking, right, anchors, Archer, definitely Rashid. I don't think he can go to Rashid in the minute, and it's pretty much an even ball game, says the win predictor.
48% Nepal, just past the halfway point in the chase. Just 2 days into this T20 World Cup. The Netherlands, USA, Scotland decent against the West Indies. Now Nepal against England. Gap is shortening. The gap is shortening. That's something we all wanted to see when this World Cup expanded to 20 teams.
The whole point of it doing it, isn't it, to go to 20 teams, to showcase the skills of nations around the world, not just the usual suspects. So far, we've started well, really well.
100 comes up. At the same point, England got 106 for 3. Will it come down to that innings by Will Jacks, I wonder, towards the end?
overs, that run rate starts to creep towards 11 and a half. Then it comes down to not only the skill of the batters, but also their mental character. England have to get those 2 control overs in soon.
They'll take a run on that too. Legal and directed. They're scampering after everything, Nepal. They got 10 of the current over. 101 for 2 from 12.
He's got a job to do with his tactics in the field now, Harry Brook, but earlier on today, some just what he can do as a batter. Starting quite slowly, gave himself just a little bit of time to acclimatise, and he accelerated. He was sort of cut off in his prime just when he was really starting to go. But you're right, Harsha, the change has come. As you look at who's to come at 5, 6 and 7. For England, it's going to be Archer. What length does he bowl?
What he face on, face off.
I think his great skill is pace on. We shall see. He might see it differently, but I think I'll be saying that, Joff, come on, right, crank it up here. We need a wicket.
First over, everything 140 plus. Second over, mid 120s. Now he started at 110. He'll come down to your pace and mine shortly.
He won't come from my height, Marsh, that's for sure. But yeah, he sees it differently. He's gone slower ball straight away. Good one too. Landed on a decent length. Now does he go full, fast? Mix it up, make it difficult for the batters to set themselves.
Has been a good ball for him in recent times for Jofra Archer. It's got all the variation. What I'd like to see is a little bit more usage of the Yorker. It's predominantly his sort of back on the length, head and hard because of his beautiful vippy action. The average is 9 bowling these leg cutters.
Push that one through a bit more. So this is good so far from Archer. The batters, Irie, Waddell, are just going to have a little chat. And this is where they've got to keep their cool. Glove punch, calm down. All right, we haven't managed to get a boundary just yet. Don't panic. Very easy to say, much harder to do.
Just 2 of this over so far. It's a good one. England needed Archer to deliver a good over. Well,
he's got to get out of this over as far as he can be concerned without a boundary. Conversation there between the captain and Jofra Archer. Maybe just say, listen, if you want to give him one leg side, I've got no problem with that. You've only gone for 2.
The asking where it goes up to 11 and a half, 3 of the over, 104 for 2.
Well, that's exactly it. England needed 1, probably now 2 overs just to really bump that required run rate up. And as you say, it's gone past 11 and a half, as Nasser was saying earlier. Get it up towards 12, 13, 14 at the end to the likes of, say, Bangladesh. Sometimes struggle. This next over, very important for England and for Nepal. Big over coming up.
Do you think he's buying a wicket here? Because they will go after Rashid. 2 overs for 23, but they will seek release from the previous Archer over, from this one, from Adil Rashid.
Well, I don't think the batters will change their tactics. So how quickly will he bowl it? Will he give it some air or fire it through like that? Archer will cut that off, and they're very quick between the wickets. I think it's as simple as, I'm not sure about buying a wicket with Adil Rashid, Harsh. I sort of take your point. I think it's just Brook going to his 2 guns at a crucial juncture.
You're also right about the speeds. I'm going to keep an eye on the speeds. This is going to be the contest. Dipinder Irie against the leg, up against the leg spinner. Push through, push through. Don't think there's a loopy one coming for a while.
When he has bowled a loopy one, it's disappeared. Wide range just creeping towards 12. And pulled away, smashed away 6. They're going after him again.
That was more in pushed through by Ron Shoulder. It's a rare day when Adil Rashid is scratching his head thinking what next. It's a rare day when you've got an Adil Rashid over almost taking the pressure off. Over the years, he's probably been England's best white ball bowler across styles.
Don't see too many of those from Adil Rashid. Googly, they're just dragged down on the wrong line. That is powerfully struck.
That might find the gap too. A boundary. Nepal are still alive in this game. 13 of that over. And there's a ball left. Rashid has now gone for 36. Some cricketer. This Dipinder Irie bowled well. Flamboyant, aggressive batter. Absolutely sensational in the field. Goes the other way. Goes all the way. This is an exhibition from Nepal. 19 of the Adil Rashid over. 123 for 2. Now they need 62 of 6. Can they dream? Can they dream? Can they think over it as drinks come on to the field? But I suspect it's England who doing more of the thinking in this break. (62 of 36). Time for drinks. Partnership now 81 of 53. And that one big over, what that has done is it's closed the gap between the two sides. It had gone up to almost 20. Now a mere 5. And it is indeed coming down to that late Jacks assault. When 45 came of 3.
Well, there's plenty of conversations happening in the England huddle. There's a few happening in the Nepal huddle as well, because Stuart Law, the coach, has come out to just have a chat with the 2 batters. I'd be inclined to leave them alone. They're going absolutely fine. So the hard work that Archer did in the previous over, undone by Dipinder Irie and some breathtaking shots against Adil Rashid. They really have gone after England's gun leg spinner. Jacks for a while kept things a little quiet at the start, and then he too got swept for a couple of boundaries. That was breathtaking good because he had to wait so long. Had to wait for that as well to go up and over, extra cover. Dawson got his line too wide. Even so, Puts it slower ball. Went to a boundary. That's a very unusual sight for Adil Rashid to be taken to the cleaners like he has so far. But that is what these two have done. Rashid, 3 overs for 42.
How is he going to play this Harry Brook? He's got 6 overs left. Dawson's got 1. He's been the pick of the bowlers. He'll go there. Archer bowls 1. Wood bowls 2. That's 4 overs gone there. He'll need to get 2 out of Sam Curran, I think. The sun might be setting over Mumbai, but it's rising over Nepal cricket at the moment.
First note, Tendra Ari has now got 2,000 runs in international T20s. The first Nepalese to get to that landmark. And he ain't done yet. He's 44. Wadal is 38. This partnership is giving England real problems. Current changes ends.
Accelerated, says that's what they did in the previous over. So they have the firepower to keep going. Inevitably, when you want to get 62 of the last 6, there will be a wicket or 2 going down. Is there firepower to come for Nepal? It's going to be the key bowler from here, Sam Curran. At least 2 overs from Curran. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square, long off, deep point. Sometimes when you're the underdog and suddenly the dream starts to appear in front of you, you suddenly start to think, oops, I can win this one, but I've not been there too often before. Do I navigate my way through to win? That's the pressure now. All of a sudden Nepal are moving from being underdogs, challengers to, oops, maybe we can. Straight up, there should be a fielder underneath it. There's the wicket England wanted.
He's the ultimate competitor, Sam Curran. He won't have enjoyed what happened in his first over. England are celebrating quite strongly because they know the importance of that. So do the Nepalese in the crowd here in Mumbai. It's been a wonderful partnership, but it has been broken. And it's Sam Curran who's done it with a change-up, and it's just come off the outside edge. Banton steadies himself comfortably straight into the breadbasket. My word, England needed that. It ends a lovely innings, but Nepal now 124 for 3.
Outstanding day for Dipinder Singh Iyer. Much better if they can get over the line. Be a day they'll never forget. He's already had a fabulous match. Bowled well with his quick flat off breaks. Well, he got a 50 in the warm-up game, but how much is left in the tank for Nepal?
Got a 50 in the warm-up game. This is a bit different now. This is the ICC World T20 and they're taking on England. And they're within sniffing distance, really, of a memorable victory, a historic victory. But it's been made just that bit more difficult thanks to Sam Curran taking that wicket. Are things slipping on Nepal? But your point about the pressure and the mindset, I think now they've lost the wicket, is absolutely crucial. Do they believe? Can they be calm enough? Run rate is now 11.
Already the Nepal supporters get my vote for the best crowd shots. Business of winning again. To give you respect of what happens from here. They won a lot of hearts today, Nepal. They've raised a few questions about England's bowling for the rest of the teams in this tournament. I think the way this England team is structured, it doesn't matter how many you score, we have to outscore you.
I think they will win hearts and minds as we go throughout this World T20, regardless manner in which they play their cricket, the enthusiasm of the supporters who can get to India because it's not a problem with the visa. I was interviewing some of the Nepal players yesterday, and they were so disappointed that their families couldn't come to the States, couldn't get visas, but they can come to India. That's why you're seeing so many in the crowd. All their families are here.
Exactly the over England wanted. A wicket, just 2 runs, 125 for 360 now needed of the last 5.
Feel the tension in that dugout, most certainly. In touching distance. But still plenty of work to do. 5 to go. Skipper's still there. England's bowlers under immense pressure. Dawson with 1 to go. It's been pretty miserly. Wicket 1 for 17. It's a hush over the ground for now.
Gotcha!
Can they hold their nerve here? Think of yesterday's game, Scotland, Netherlands, USA got themselves into very similar positions to this and couldn't get over the line. Self-belief. Owen Morgan alongside me.
You can sense the tension building. Crowd now hush around the ground.
Big hit and taken. Excellent catch going forward. Now then, wickets beginning to fall. It is the skipper that's played so well. It's Phil Salt in the deep. And England just regain a little bit of control.
Yeah, camera heads prevailing at the moment. Sam Curran made the breakthrough. A big partnership. The other contributor departs. Absolutely devastating. Phil Salt running in, taking a good low catch. So just checking it upstairs. Looks as if he's got it. Both hands around the ball. Our pull rifle just double checking. And just another angle. Slow right down. Just a double check. Crucial part of the game. Controlled. Elbow hits the ground first. For me, it's good. Looks out. Yeah, no doubt gone. Huge wicket in this run chase. Possibly slipping away out of Nepal's hands. How it all goes for 39. 126 for 4.
If they might have brought in Sanjar, who's a left-hander, a bit of a match-up with Dawson. Big hitter, power hitter. They've decided against that.
And only time will tell whether or not Liam Dawson has had an outstanding day. 2 for 19 with still 2 balls to go. He's been controlled, he's got purchase. Incredibly effective when there's been a little bit on offer for spinners.
Just 3 from it with the wicket so far, ball to go. Just calming the nerves of England fans. Excellent. That will do nicely as far as England are concerned. Just 4 from it, and that is Liam Dawson done and dusted for the day. 2 for 21 from his 4. 4 to go, 129 for 4.
As ever, Mr. Reliable, Liam Dawson. Huge performer in the county game and in franchise leagues around the world. Committed for a long time in this England current setup. He's earned his place back. Deservedly so. He started this World Cup impressively. Using the power play, also those difficult overs, and something on offer at the end as well.
Yeah, Liam Dawson's a seriously good competitor. That doesn't really show in the numbers sometimes that we put up. He will be into a contest like this and say to the skipper, give me the ball. Likewise for Sam Curran. How are you going to see this former skipper? Who are you going to bowl? You're going to go Curran, then what?
Yeah, good from Sam Curran. I was impressed by Harry Brook's decision to go Sam Curran. Same over, same end, previous over that he bowled to get the wicket. Could have easily spent his resources and gone to the likes of Jofra Archer. Hammerheads have prevailed, better decisions. He's done well today, he's been under pressure. His best bowler went around the park in Adil Rashid, 14 and over. As a captain, when your reliable senior bowlers are put under pressure, it calls into question how you're going to manufacture the 20 overs. Talk about big moments in the game, getting your better players in those moments. Sam Curran, who has been outstanding recently in domestic cricket, pulled back up into this T20 World Cup based on franchise performances for Surrey as well. Confidence is high. There is that partnership. Harry, Adal, absolutely outstanding. Putting Adil Rashid to the sword, putting England under enormous pressure. But the whole of the run chase were neck and neck of where England were. Remember those final 3 overs, conceding 45 runs. The seamers from Nepal could prove costly.
It's going to find the gap and will run away. Needed that desperately, Nepal.
First boundary in 15 deliveries. Back up and dancing. Pace off just wide. Trying to take Lokesh away and outside his swing, who's trying to target the leg side. Element of luck with that shot. Sam Curran won't mind it. Plan is in place. Things like that can happen. and now remains the same.
That'll help too for Nepal. They're not out of this quite yet.
Correction to go straight from Sam Curran. Previously slow and wide, this fired in at leg stump, length ball. More middle and off actually, inside edge with pace on. Yeah, more luck for Nepal. It's the chat now between Harry Brook and Sam Curran. Slow things down, take the pace out of the game with back-to-back boundaries, just momentum shifting away. England regained it, taking wickets, but he's had a tough day today, Adil Rashid. Probably asked more questions in this game than he has been probably in the last couple of years in international cricket. Yeah, just a slight change. Deep point now goes behind square on the offside. Goffer Archer goes on square on the ring.
Brilliant finish to the over. A little bit of pressure on for both sides. 139 for 4, 3 to go.
And Nadia talked about where to go to bowlers in this game. I think there's plenty of overs left. Adil Rashid hasn't even completed his allocation of 4. He's gone none for 42 and 3 overs. Interestingly enough, his career today, stellar, absolutely outstanding, 150 wickets, one of England's greatest white ball bowlers. But in India, T20 internationals, 20 games, that average goes up, and so does the economy. Interesting numbers for one of England's very, very best. Another game at this ground on Wednesday against the West Indies then. England head to Calcutta for more games and then possibly down to Sri Lanka and qualify for the Super 8 stages.
Pace of Archer will start with a wide, and I will be very surprised, Morgs, if we don't see a lot of slower balls.
Yeah, his go-to cutters going away from the right-hander. So try and start with a straight line like he did that first delivery. Work that hard line, he'll roll his fingers across the ball away from the right-hander into the middle of that surface, hopefully asking for a little bit of purchase off it.
Gone up. Has it got the distance? Just, yes it has. Heartbreak for England, but Nepal still very much in the contest.
Excellent shot. Really is. You can see what Jofra Archer is trying to do. It's not that bad of a delivery, but the quality is in the skill of the shot. Face off, almost through it, but goes with it. The timing sees it all the way over Phil Salt's head. He thought he was in the game, but the timing is just too good. Archer approves.
Arif Sheikh's nickname is the Iceman, and boy do they need that right now. They need some calm, they need composure, and England are feeling it right now. Harry, stand chat, as you will have done, Morgs, on many occasions with Jofra Archer. What's he saying?
Yeah, very important. Just slow things down. Never feel momentum is going away from you. Just want to allow the bowler to breathe, take time, and the best opportunity to execute his skill.
Pace and edged and gone. Good catch. Archer with the comeback. And they do lose another, but they're still in the contest.
Yeah, heartbreak for the Nepal fans. Brilliant from Jofra Archer. Always talk about when you concede a boundary. What is your next ball? What is your go-to delivery? Yeah, good work behind the stumps. Joss Butler as well. Slower ball away from the right-hander. Arif Sheikh plays well for 10, 146 for 5.
Shanja. Power hitter, left-hander. Your time to shine, sir. Jofra Archer, boy by the wicket. He has now 1 for 27. He has just a few deliveries to go. Power through the offside, which should be cut off, just the one.
Well, it's a good piece of bowling from Archer. Purchase with the cutter, loops into Joss Butler, covers all the ground and lands in the middle of his gloves. Kitchen sink he gave it. Good catch, good timely wicket for England.
The Iceman comes and goes.
Outside the swing of the batter. Also like this field that he has gone to. Previously at point in the ring on the offside. Point going back and mid-off coming in. It allows him to go straight with all the cover on the leg side available. Pace on, pace off, but also go pace off wide outside his swing. Gives him an extra.
Gone up a long way. And gone a long way. What a shot! Arguably the best shot of the game so far.
Well, brings up to 150 for Nepal. They are not out of this contest yet. The second six of the over. Absolutely extraordinary shot. You can see the plan from Archer. Not a bad delivery again. Have a look at the quality of this ball strike.
And a good time to bring in Nepal's favourite son, who's just come to join us, Andrew Leonard, who's very excited about what you're seeing.
I think every single cricket fan around the world is very excited at this moment because Nepal are starting to believe. They said they were going to come to this World Cup to dream big, and bam, has gone boom to keep them alive.
2 to go, Archer under pressure. Oh, it's gone! Six, followed by six. Andrew Leonard, calm down.
Extraordinary game on at the Vankavy. Lokesh Bam, big call from Stuart Law. Favoured over Sandeep Jura, the hero against the West Indies. And Bam goes boom and boom again. Back-to-back maximums. The game twists again. From every corner of Nepal, they're starting to believe. Sudar Pashim to Viratnagar, all across Kathmandu in the valley to beautiful Pokhara. Well, who knows? 13 balls to do it, 25 to win.
It was like a moment in time with Will Jacks. Was it going to go? Wasn't it going to go? Skipper Brook under pressure. He's having another word, Owen Morgan, with his bowler. What's he saying this time?
Yeah, again, like previously earlier in the over, Jofra Archer was being put under pressure. Conceded 6 on the leg side for one of his better balls. Harry Brook taking time here just to compose himself. They have to be careful. Not take too much time out of the game because it will be penalised. There is a change in the field, however. Fine leg goes back. Deep point comes up. Possible bouncer or into the wicket slow ball.
Nearly a mix-up. They don't need that. Tension, 2 to go. 24 from 12.
What a match we have had. This is quality shuffles. Leg side. Rides the extra bounce that Archer has on offer and just goes over the head of Will Jacks in the deep. We've seen some brilliant shots in the last couple of overs. Nepal still in it.
What a moment for Luke Wood. Finds himself in the side. Hasn't been playing regularly in the side. In Sri Lanka, he played the last T20 international. Craig Overton preferred to him. He's in the hot seat right now.
previous over, Jofra Archer's most expensive over in his World Cup career ever. And it's brought Nepal and their fans, their 12th player, to life. For them, they've got the two right men at the crease. Jha is the finisher. He did it again and again in the qualifier in Muscat in October. And Bam, with all the faith that's been shown in him by Stuart Law, it's 2 a ball, it's all play.
Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Things going the way of Nepal.
Yeah, boundary off the first ball of the second last over. More pressure and momentum going against England. Element to look down on the swing, top edge, nothing Luke Wood or England can do about it. You can feel it, you can sense this momentum shifting.
Okay, so have to go right again. England are fretting, England are under pressure. Nepal for now are staying calm.
They are truly starting to believe. Bam, to me, looks locked in. Looks absolutely in the zone. The rise of this Himalayan nation. 31 million people cheering them on at home. Look at this over. Most expensive in the history of Archer's World Cup career. 3 maximums in it. Those 2 from Bam. He's turned it Nepal's way.
Right again. More pressure heaped on Luke Wood. More pressure on that man. He looks calm enough, but inside, surely not.
Years ago, Nepal played their first T20 World Cup in a decade, in 10 years. They went to St. Vincent, they came within touching distance. Jha was at the crease. He's a teenager at that point, he was vilified. He was the one who came up with the heartbreaking moment. Is it his redemption today with Lokesh Bam?
So we're going to miss this time. Coach Stuart Law has been around the world. He was a fantastic player. He really was. What a player. And played in an era, of course, where Australia was somewhere near their very, very best. Didn't get a whole heap of international cricket. It's just going to be a memorable day for him. It looks like it might be. Luke Wood. Gone up a long way. It's gone a long way too. The gap, finds the boundary, another boundary. Just 14 required now.
Lokesh Bam is playing the innings of his young life. They've been close before. With 14 off 9, they hold every ace. Slower ball, change of pace, but he's hit so well. Straight down the ground, mid-off was up in the circle, well executed.
Decided it's his turn to have a word as well. What scenes, it's incredible. They went a little bit quiet for a little while when they lost a couple, but now they are back on. And they cannot quite believe what they're seeing, and that is the outset or the onset. They're now going to have captain, vice-captain, coach, batting coach.
Not quite sure what's going on in Nepal bench, but there's certainly questions being asked here. Ross Butler sprinting as part of 60 or so yards, just to reiterate what the plan might be and an alternative option. Won't give England the chance. We predict it firmly now in Nepal's favour, 74% in fact. Seeing change in the field after that long chat between Harry Brook and Luke Wood. Long off goes back. Square leg now comes up. He really has an option to go wide. Massive gamble to go straight.
Yeah, has to go wide, surely. Does, and we'll have to bowl it again. Third wide as well for Luke Wood. The plan is clear, the execution not so.
This right here, this is what this expanded T20 World Cup is all about. 2 years ago, we went to 20 teams. We went to 4 groups of 5 with a main draw. There was shocks. USA beat Pakistan, Canada beat Ireland in New York. But this could be right up there with the biggest shocks in the history of the game. Nepal have come so close before. Can they close it out? They've got all the momentum.
Big hit down the ground. Not quite carrying, but they will come back for 2. They won 3, they might all mix up, and I think they'll be okay with 2. It's all happening out there. Desperation from both sides.
What a match we have had. Absolutely extraordinary, going right down to the wire. Will Jack sprinting in, just lands in front of him. More importantly, from England's point of view, didn't concede 4. Got something on it.
Just require 11. 11 from 8 balls. Harry Brook is at long off. He's watching on. Luke Wood is desperate to get into his work. He has 2 to go. It's hard down the ground. Good work. Will Jacks is busy. Just 1 on this occasion. Excellent in the deep.
Critical stop. That doesn't get stopped. 7 to win off 7, and Bam's still on strike. The last 14 balls, he's found 7 boundaries, and they've all gone his way. An extraordinary knock of 35 off 15. I sense this is a big ball, a massive ball. Gulshan Jha will go at it, I promise you that.
Further changes. You can see Harry Brook. He's talking to his bowler every single ball. Joffrey Archer's coming across. Left-hander on strike, so we got an extra cover. A deep extra cover. No one at third man. Long on, long off. Deep mid-wicket, deep square. There's plenty of gaps for 1s and 2s, but they're looking for the boundary. 10 required from 7. Goal! What a delivery! What a delivery under pressure from Luke Wood. Not been a straightforward over for him, but he finishes it well. 10 required from 6. Final over.
Yeah, brilliant finish of the over. Conceded 14. Takes a wicket with the final delivery. Cross seam, pace on. All was there to be hit. Just beats him for pace. Elation for Wood. England still with plenty of work to do. Gulshan goes for 1 Nepal. 175 for 6.
What a game. Extraordinary. They played their part in it for sure. Whatever happens now, 10 from 6. Giving themselves a chance. Sam Curran will try and finish things off for England. Karen Casey. Spare a thought. When he went to bed last night, he's thinking, what I've got in store for tomorrow. Well, you've got to try and find 10 runs from 6 balls. Lokesh, importantly, is on strike. What an innings, 35 from just 15. Sam Curran, what have you got? What a start, what a start.
Yeah, good start to the over. Luke Wood. Wood. Start to the final over here. Take a little bit of momentum from England from that wicket into this over. Dot ball. Best case scenario here for Sam Curran is that he gets Lokesh off strike. Only concedes a single. Get the new batter on strike.
Should just be one. They'll run hard. They'll push Harry Brook, who does well in the end.
Casey capable, absolutely capable. His favourite zone straight down the ground. Really the only place he hits. Career strike rate back home in Kathmandu at the Team International Cricket Ground. This format over 200. He's broad-shouldered, Known as the folk hero of Nepal, the Valentine's Day boy. His role in getting Nepal ODI status, his journey through time here in Mumbai. Don't think even he could have imagined ever playing at this ground, let alone being within 2 hits of beating England on a first time ever getting to play them. It was 8 they needed 2 years ago against South Africa. It's 10 today. This ball, for me, it's got to go to the boundary.
And Harry Brook has decided that it may well go to fine leg because Jofra Archer's been dropped back up. Now there's a gap over the skipper's head at long off. So you'd think he's going to have to bowl full and at the leg stump, which is what he does. And that is great work from Sam Curran, bowling to your field.
Yeah, he's been impressive. Introduced late into today's game, primarily because Harry Brook chose to go spin early. The amount of turn that was on offer. He's good. He's been good so far. Only ever feel that Nepal only need 1 more boundary. So these 3 deliveries have to be accurate.
England were exactly the same score. 177 for 6 at this point. 19.3. It could not be any closer. Will Jacks with runs right at the end. Oh, Joss, what are you thinking? Last ball went for 6 from Will Jacks. Great drama. 8 from 3.
What you're being introduced to here is classic, trademark, vintage Nepalese cricket. They're known as the cardiac kids for a reason. They will send your heart palpitation up and down and again.
Jofra's back up. Harry Brook is back out. Change of tactic from Sam Curran. Whipped across on the leg side, but again the length is good. Will be 2 more. Been a pretty good over. In fact, it's been a very good over so far. 6 from 2 required. Oh, super overs, they do exist, but let's hope we don't get to that. 6 from 2.
What an opportunity for Lokesh Bahl. Far west of Nepal, to Kashim, where the game is a religion, it's an obsession. It's where the vast majority of cricketers come from in Nepal, and they ply their way up to Kathmandu to live and work as professional cricketers. In 18 games before today, his best ever 39. If he can send this one over the rope, he'll make a career best. He'll write his name into the echelons of Nepali cricket history. This would be the biggest sporting moment in the nation's history. It's that big. And he's got 2 balls to do it.
38 from 18. Harry Brook, another extended chat. Sam Curran, the experienced Sam Curran, is getting advice from all the senior players, but it is down to him, and it is down to Lokesh to try and locate the boundary. They are 1 hit away. Excellent again from Sam Curran. He does turn it down. He probably had no choice, though, in Morgan.
Yeah, well, we just mentioned that off air. I think it's the right call. The way he's been striking it, 38 from 19. Hit the ball all over the 1KD this afternoon. Again, sitting deep in the crease. The execution is too good from Sam Curran. It's a maximum. That will do it for Nepal. Judging by the overs so far from Sam Curran, unlikely, but it only takes 1 mistake. Again, reiterating plans. This is such an important part of the game.
Not more than moon ball here, surely.
Absolutely
That
not.
will be
No,
part of the
I've
discussion.
not seen it today. I'd be surprised and
bowled it
shocked. Shocked if he goes to it now. Tried and tested straight Yorker for me. He's managed to jam it in. He's managed to cramp up Lokesh. And you would imagine he will try it again.
I'm not sure I agree. I think you've got to run the single. I'll tell you why, because it creates a 4 giving you the super over. Now it's all or nothing. Now it's maximum or bust. You've got to hit this for 6, otherwise it's a chase in vain. Maybe if you're on the 1, you can think about the second if there's a fumble. They turn it down, and it is all on one man's shoulders. It's now all about Lokesh Bahl. Can he find a way to get Sam Curran over the rope?
Well, surely he's going to go full and straight at the Yorker, at the leg stump. What a game we've had. Are we going to have a last ball thriller? Are we going to have a six to finish things off? Sam Curran has been outstanding in the previous 5 deliveries. England breathe again. They were tested, immense pressure. Great credit to Nepal.